Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Fireside Fridays once again. We are here today joined by Kelley. I love that name. From Higher Heroes USA. You guys know we had a partnership. We now have a partnership with Higher Heroes USA, and it's just super exciting to get to tell you more about it and what is it that you can expect, why is it that we are doing this, and all that yummy stuff. So Kelley, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to our Fireside Fridays.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So we're gonna jump right in. You guys know me. I am Lydia Witiotieno, the founder and CEO of the Foreign Born Military Spouses Network, where we advocate and empower foreign born military spouses to thrive in every aspect of their lives. Now, Kelley, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll just jump right into the questions.
Yeah, so I'm Kelley. I married Kelly. That's how I got this ridiculous name. But I am the Serving Spouses Program Manager at Higher Heroes USA. I've been with Higher Heroes for going on 9 years now, which has been a really cool journey. I helped start our Serving Spouses program, which we could talk more about. But I am a military spouse. I am now a veteran spouse as my husband separated last year. So living on that side. He served in the Air Force for over 11 years. So yeah, just really happy to be here, happy about this partnership and all the good things that we're going to do together.
Awesome. Let's jump right into it. So tell me about what excites you most about this new partnership between us, Kelley.
Yeah, so Higher Heroes USA, we are a nonprofit organization that helps military spouses find meaningful employment, right? But with that said, is when we speak to, we're a really high touch service. So when military spouses register for our services, they're assigned a transition specialist. That transition specialist is going to be following up with you throughout your whole employment search. So we're going to help you with your resume. We're going to help you with networking, but we're also going to follow up and ask, how's everything going? Our transition specialist gets to know the clients really well. We form friendships with our clients, and really our main goal is just to help them get that career that they really want. And with that said, other things come up and we get to know clients, and we are proud to serve a lot of foreign born military spouses. But that really isn't our expertise, right, Lydia? That's yours. So it's really cool to, um, not reinvent the wheel. So we're not, looking to compete in any way. Right when we get a foreign born military spouse, we send them over to Lydia's expertise. So I think that's what I'm most excited about in this partnership is just our areas of expertise, right? So it's just great to have someone, an organization like FMSN that knows the ins and outs and the intricacies of being a foreign born military spouses, because you're going to have a lot of different barriers on top of just being a military spouse. So I just think that the partnership, the areas of expertise, just to further help our clients is what I'm most excited about.
Yay, thank you. And if I can add just a little bit about why FMSN is excited about this, is because we want to bring real life changing support to the fingertips of foreign-born spouses, This partnership for us bridges a gap that has existed for far too long, and so that we can ensure that spouses do not just survive, but they are truly thriving with both cultural and career support that is tailored to their needs. I don't know if I can say that any better. So we are looking forward to doing so much with Higher Heroes USA as we support ourselves to make sure that our careers are good, but also that our cultures, we can live within who we are and not be suppressed in expressing ourselves. So thank you so much, Kelley. Now, how do you envision the collaboration supporting foreign-born spouses?
Yeah, so I think I should kind of explain for those of you who aren't familiar with Hire Heroes and how it works. So, anyone who's watching this, I highly encourage you to register for our services if you are job seeking. We help all military spouses. So, that's one unique thing about Hire Heroes USA. You just don't have to be an active duty spouse. We help veteran spouses, Gold Star spouses, reservist spouses. So, pretty much if you are a military spouse once in your life, you are eligible for our service. So feel free to register. Once you register, you're going to be assigned a transition specialist, as I mentioned. That transition specialist is going to get to know you, find out what type of jobs you're looking for, what industries, what barriers you're facing. We're going to rewrite your resume for you. So that's one thing that a lot of clients come to us is they need that resume support. So we're going to write that for you. And then we have a whole slew of other services. So mock interviews, career counselings. If you need help with your LinkedIn profile, we could get you set up with that. But one thing, as I mentioned, is really that high touch support. So if you let us know that you're a foreign born military spouse, we're going to go in our referral and training network. We have a program for our referral and training partners. So essentially, if it's not our area of expertise, as I mentioned, we're going to refer you out to the organizations who could help you best. So please, mention to your transition specialist that you're a foreign-born military spouse. Will get you connected with Lydia, and that's what really I'm most excited about, is that bridge of connection and the help that we could provide military spouses. We've been doing this for a long time. We've helped over 8,000 military spouses find meaningful employment. But with that said, we can't do this alone. We have a volunteer network that volunteers their time to do mock interviews and career counseling and industry specific. And then we have just a partnership of organizations, great organizations that we vetted to help us further help our clients find meaningful employment. So I think that's really what I'm most excited about, and just getting our clients connected with you, Lydia, and FMSN to further help our clients.
Thank you, Kelly. And on our end, as we envision this collaboration, this creates for us a powerful ecosystem of support. And I will piggyback off of what Kelly said. Nobody wants to reinvent the wheel here. The ecosystem already exists, but we just need to form a way that we can provide everything that people need and know where to take them for the best service. I mean, what Hair Heroes USA has built over these many years, FMSN cannot start it now. It would be like, just doubling efforts for no reason. But if we can collaborate and know that this ecosystem exists where we provide what we provide and HHUSA can provide what they provide, and together we make sure that the Foreign Born Spouse Network provides a community and advocacy and cultural connection, while the High Heroes USA delivers expert career coaching and job placement. And so together we want to build a safety net that uplifts the whole person and not just the resume. What Kelly did not mention is that I was her client as well. So Kelly, you need to mention that to everybody. I was one of the people that Kelly, was able to support, and because of that very specialized support, I am here today to say that these services work. She's already gone ahead of me and talked about her Heroes USA. And so probably if I did not do service and introduce FMSN, I'd like to say that the Foreign Military Spouse Network is a network built by and for foreign military spouses. We offer a safe space for connection where we share culturally responsive resources, we advocate for inclusion in military life, and we also connect spouses to opportunities that reflect their diverse identities and strengths. Our motto is nobody left behind, no spouse left behind. So, Kelly, as we move along, what are some of the most impactful services or success stories you've seen so far from your work?
Yeah, I think just as military spouses, we're often left to figure things out ourselves and do things ourselves, so it's hard for us to ask for help. I was really unaware of all the services out there to help military spouses. I actually was a client as well. This was going 9 years back. I was unemployed for about 6 months. It was the hardest time in my life. And I stumbled upon Hire Heroes and eventually networked myself into the organization. But I think it's just, hearing the stories of our spouses. Our clients are highly qualified individuals. And military spouses often don't just want to work for monetary, right? We want to work for that community, that connection. Oftentimes we're PCS to remote locations where we don't know anybody and we don't have that network. So it's about building that community for yourself. I would always recommend don't go doing this alone. Military spouse life is extremely hard, and we just don't want you to do this alone. And that's why I love Lydia, No Spouse Left Behind. I think that really resonates because, like I said, I know what it's like to be a military spouse and go at things all by yourself and how hard, and especially the job search, how hard it is in this economy, and just the competition in general with the job search. But we really want to connect you with our transition specialists and people who have been doing this and can help you. So highly recommend don't doing this alone. And Lydia is Lydia didn't mention she was one of our clients of the year just because of her um, amazing. Just I remember being connected to you and realizing that, you were something else. You're different and you had that spark. And I think you said in one of our videos that your spark kind of dimmed a bit during that job search and being a foreign-born military spouses and figuring all this stuff out yourself. So my advice is don't go at it alone. We've created these programs to help you. Don't feel like you're, burdening us, because I get a lot of like, oh, these are for this program. Like, I'm just a military spouse. I'm not a service member. No, no, no. This is what we are here to help you for. We realize that military spouses need help as well. So yeah, don't go at it alone. Utilize our support network, and that's really why we're here, is to help you.
Thank you, Kelly. If I could answer the same question, I remember one spouse who had been isolated and felt exactly like me, which reminds me why FMSN exists, is because many foreign-born spouses are isolated. I can tell you, I knew about the military space 12 years after, you know, we had been serving. So that isolation for me is one of the things that really makes people's lights dim, because you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're thrust into a life that you probably are unaware of, and you're trying to figure it out while also handling other things. There's family here, there's school here, there's career. And so it can be very overwhelming for someone who probably America also is a whole different ball game for them. So once we helped a very highly skilled professional regain her confidence and to also connect to credentialing support, which is one of the big issues that we have as foreign born spouses. She was able to return to work, and she told us, FMSN gave me the courage to dream again. If I cannot replicate that same thing for others, then I think our work here is really not being done. And so we want to give every spouse the courage to dream again. And that's why we do why we do this work. So it might feel like, oh my God, am I ever gonna be an engineer again? Am I gonna be a pilot again? Am I gonna be an accountant again? Am I gonna be who I was again? And I want to tell you it is possible. And that's the reason we seek out partnerships like High Heroes USA, to show you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Please, as Kelley said, do not go at this alone. FMSN is here, High Heroes USA is here, and many, many other organizations are here to support you. So Kelley, as we move on, let's talk about more about the community and how to impact this community, and why it is important for organizations like ours to come together for this community. Just share a little bit about maybe some of your experience with partnerships and things like that, why it is important for this community to rally together and partner instead of, some of the times when people feel like it's supposed to be a competition.
Yeah, I think the VSO space, the Veteran Service Organization space, is crowded. There's a lot of organizations that start up to help veterans. With that said, there's not a lot of organizations that help military spouses. So I'm always, looking at these organizations that start, and anything that could help military spouses, I'm all for. So, Lydia, you really found like a niche clientele of military spouses, foreign-born military spouses who need extra support, like you said, navigating a new country. And our services, that's really niche, that we don't have the expertise to, further guide those clients. Lydia has created a great network, and the playbook is incredible that you've created with pretty much pages of just resources. So I think, the more that these pockets of expertise that we could join together and help military spouses, I think it's, the best thing ever. So I'm always, happy when to collab with different organizations focusing on different things because military spouses were often forgotten. So a lot of these large corporations, they have these great veteran hiring initiatives and all this good stuff. But what about the military spouse? And surveys are now indicating that the retention rate of the military is being affected because military spouses are not happy. I know, speak for myself. My husband, we thought that he was going to be a lifer in the Air Force. It wasn't until we had our first daughter that I was like, hey, I can't do this anymore. Like the support isn't there for military spouses. And a lot of, service members are getting out of the military because of the issues military spouses are facing. So I'm a huge advocate of just military spouse employment in general and all things military spouses. I think we're often forgotten. This isn't the 1950s anymore, when, our husband and wife goes to war and we're at home. Dual income, we need dual income, and the military kind of creates barriers for military spouses to find meaningful employment. We're moving all the time, this and that. So I could talk on that for many hours, but I think the more we come together as, great viable organizations who have the resources to help military spouses, I think that's a win-win in my book.
Absolutely. And when you talk about retention, I can tell you from my own story. We had to leave. At some point, it was just too much. I had to leave, and guess what? My husband had to go on reserve. Why? Because this spouse was having a hard time. And just to put like some statistics into what you say, we actually do have, we share this all the time. 94% of service members stay, actually 93%, and these statistics are from the DoD, Kelley. 93% of service members remain in service if the spouse is satisfied, and only 44 stay if the spouse is not satisfied. And you can imagine what that stay will be if the spouse is not satisfied. So it's not just about taking care of spouses. This is about military readiness. This is about preserving, the all volunteer force. This is about maintaining what the US is spending so much money to build. You don't want to spend so much on someone and then just because the spouse isn't satisfied, somehow you're going to end up losing this person. So if there's anything, the military community or the DoD should take from this is that taking care of spouses and their needs is actually a matter of national interest. If there's no more words I can say beyond that. So for us, this kind of coming together is a way to show that foreign-born spouses actually belong. It is something that I know from my own story, I craved for a very long time because of the many unique challenges that we face, from language barriers to credential transfers to immigration complexities. Yet some of these, or more often these, go unseen. So when we come together and hiring a hero is, extends a hand and say, hey, let's work together, it means that we are amplifying the visibility of the fact that we have those spouses whose needs are different, and that we are expanding these resources and to show them that they also matter, because unity at the end of the day in this community is powerful, and not just powerful, it is absolutely necessary. So if you're a foreign born spouse, please know that this is your time. We see you, we feel you, and so does High Heroes USA, who is extending their hand to say, come on, let's support you with your career. So as we wind up, Kelley, tell us, what do you hope spouses take away from today, and how can they connect with Higher Heroes USA?
Yeah, I think I've probably said this a lot during this thing, but really don't be afraid to ask for help. We are here to help you. We built these programs. We have, we're a nonprofit, so everything that we offer is free. So you really can't lose. So,
Yes.
sign up for, and also be aware, like there's a lot of scams out there that are targeting military spouses and veterans who want to have you pay for a resume, this and that. Don't fall for that. Come to nonprofits who want to help, like Hire Heroes USA. And so don't go at this alone. We have a team of transition specialists. My team is all military spouses themselves. So we understand this lifestyle. We're going to walk with you. We're going to give you the best resources and tools to help you in your search. But yeah, if you want to register, if you're a job seeker, feel free to go to our website, hireheroesusa.org. You're going to complete the registration process, but make sure to complete through the My Essentials portion, and then you will be assigned out to a transition specialist within the next couple days, within the next week or so. And we will connect with you. As I mentioned, our services are very high touch, so we want to give you a call. We're going to give you a call. We're going to get to know you. One thing to mention is we have all military spouses, even if you're overseas. If communication, we have to do it through email, that's okay. I know working on a lot of time differences there, but we are still here to help wherever you are in the globe. So just go to hireheroesusa.org to get registered.
Thank you, Kelly. For FMSN, I want to send the message. If you don't take away anything from today, please know that you're not alone. There is a community and a system of support designed with you in mind out here. We want you to feel empowered and to take the next step, whether it's towards a job, a community, or a dream that sometimes you have put on hold. So one thing, please, that you can do after this, watching this conversation is, please tag or share. All right, tag or share with one foreign born spouse out there, because that one act could open the door to belonging to somebody, an opportunity, a transformational, service. So let's make sure that no spouse is left behind. We all understand that the best way to send information out here in this community is through that personal touch, as Kelly said, because most of us, particularly foreign spouses, do not know of the existence of all these things. But it will take you who is seeing this and who is watching this and who is here live with us to say, hey, I saw this. Hey, I've heard this. Could you, I think this might be good for you. Don't be afraid to share, because that's how someone else's isolation can be cured, and someone else going through a hard time can find a community where they feel like they belong. So without further ado, I want to say thank you so much, Kelly, for being here. Always the support, always a friend that's there. You call Kelly at midnight, she's right there responding to your email. So I am so grateful that, Kelly, this journey began many years ago and we are still going at it. And I hope that it goes on forever and ever and ever. And we also want to give you the opportunity to connect with someone like your Kelly. Kelly is mine. Don't you take her from me. Uh, connect with someone like Kelly and feel that connection that you need for someone to show you that, oh my God, you're not forgotten. Oh my gosh, you belong right here. Oh, there's a hope and there's someone that can bring back that spark into your life again. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we hope to see you again in our next episode of Fireside Fridays. Until then, it's a goodbye from us, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them as they come. Thank you. Bye.